Hey everybody, Eric Worre here. Welcome to Network Marketing Pro. And today we've got a special guest. If you don't recognize her already, this is the one and only Mel Robbins. How you doing, Mel?
I'm all right. Actually, I'm fantastic.
You're actually fantastic.
Yes.
She is fantastic. This woman is a powerhouse. And she spoke at our recent GoPro Recruiting Mastery event. I first heard of her because I spoke at a company convention, a network marketing company convention, and we didn't meet that day, but you had spoke earlier in the day, and everybody was raving about 5-second rule, the 5-second rule. And I'm like, what the heck is a 5-second rule? Because I hadn't heard about it. And I had tons of people like rushing up to me that day at the airport, everywhere. They're like, sorry, it's 5-second rule. I have to talk to you because it's in the 5 seconds. So once I heard about the concept,
Okay.
I was really intrigued because it was an interesting thought. It's like a Malcolm Gladwell thought.
I love that you said that because I have a brain crush on him.
Do you?
Yes.
Like he has his 10,000, whether it's the tipping point thought,
Right.
or the 10,000 hours
Yep.
thought in order to become an expert. These little tiny things, I don't even remember most of the rest of the book, but I remember that.
Right.
And it made an impact. And it stayed with, it was sticky. And I watch people that have engaged in the 5-second rule, and it's sticky.
Yes.
It is. It changes the way fundamentally that they look at life.
Yes.
So tell me how this whole thing, where did it come from?
Oh, it came from the worst moment of my life. So the 5-second rule is one of those amazing things that, first of all, it's so simple, so obvious, and on some level, I'm just going to come right out and say it, it's kind of stupid when you first hear it. And I don't want you to make the mistake of dismissing the power of this thing because it sounds a little silly, obvious, or stupid, because there's some ridiculous science behind it. So the bottom line is, short story, 2009, like a lot of people that are watching, my husband and I hit rock bottom. Financially, facing bankruptcy, we were fighting all the time, the liens started to hit the house, and I developed a habit of hitting the snooze button. Now, in the scheme of life, having a habit of hitting the snooze button and getting up late and kind of starting your day off on the wrong foot, it's not that big of a deal in theory, but what you know and what you absolutely are teaching people around the world is that it's actually the smallest moves in your routine and the discipline and the decisions that you make every day that turn you from somebody that just is thinking about doing something to somebody who's a pro at doing something. And so for me, I had this habit of hitting the snooze button all the time, and I was very frustrated because I knew what I should be doing. I knew that successful people don't hit the snooze button every morning. You know, I don't think Richard Branson lays in bed and hits the snooze button 3 or 4 times and then picks up his phone and mainlines Facebook. He's not doing that. You're not doing it either. I knew that at this point in my life, I should be out looking for, another opportunity. I should be reaching out to friends. I should be exercising, but I wasn't doing it. And you see, this is something that the 5-second rule will help you do. It's going to help you bridge the gap between knowing what to do and actually getting off your butt and doing it. And it does it in 5 seconds flat. So what happened, and this is a really dumb story, but this is actually what happened, is I got inspired because I saw a commercial that had a rocket ship launching. And I thought, harebrained idea, I'm just going to launch myself out of bed like a rocket tomorrow morning. I'm going to count backwards like NASA. So the next morning, liens on the house, fighting with my husband, all kinds of problems, feeling like a loser. The alarm goes off. I immediately feel like I don't want to get up, but I started counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I stood up. And that was how I discovered it. And I'm going to be honest with you. For the first 2 to 3 years, Eric, that I used it, I had no clue why it worked. It was as if somebody had handed me a magic wand and suddenly I had control over myself. Because what happens when you first start using the 5-second rule, and the way that you use it is this: the moment that you have an instinct to act on a goal, so it's one of those should moments, You know, if you obviously listen to Eric, so you know what you should be doing to grow your business. So all day long, you're going to have that instinct where you're like, oh, this is a cold prospect marketing moment. Here we go, here we go. Oh, act like I'm in a hurry and compliment the person. And, you know, if I could, would you? Like, you know the steps to do, right? But the problem is you stop and think. And the moment you stop and think, you're going to get trapped there. So the 5-second rule, you have a should moment. You know what Eric's taught you to do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move. Now, what happens when you count backwards, and this is why the rule is crazy, is you're actually leveraging an amazing amount of silence. It's not just a silly little mantra to do. You're manually switching the gears in your brain. So I didn't know this in 2009. All I knew is suddenly I was getting up on time. Suddenly I would 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and walk out the door and get to the gym. I would 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and get in the car and drive to the bank and deal with our financial issues. I would 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and stop myself, Eric, before I snapped at Chris or the kids. I would 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and I would put down the bourbon and walk away after 1 Manhattan, because we all know that after 2, you're not that nice. So nothing good happens. As my husband likes to say to our teenage daughters, nothing good happens after midnight, so make sure you're home by then.
Right,
you know,
right.
And you know, nothing too great happens for sure after the second Manhattan, and in my case, not so great after the first one. So I started to use it to basically interrupt my habits of doubting myself, of overthinking, of hesitating, of grabbing the drink, snapping at the kids, all that kind of emotionally driven behavior.
Defaults.
Yeah, the defaults, completely. It's a way that you can, in a moment where you have that inner wisdom of knowing what you should do, because we all know what we should do. It's actually a tool that you can use to interrupt the default behaviors that are encoded in your basal ganglia. Count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It does a bunch of remarkable things at once. Number 1, it interrupts the habit loops in your basal ganglia.
What's a basal ganglia?
Basal ganglia is the interior part of your brain. It's the part of the brain where all of your default behavior patterns are encoded.
Okay.
Everything from procrastination to self-doubt to anxiety to the way that you pour your coffee to whether or not you write with your right hand.
All your programming stuff.
Correct. So when I use the word habits, this was all new to me. Habits are nothing more than behaviors that you can do without thinking about them. And 50% of your day, what we know based on research, is about 50% of your days, you're in a default mode. You're on autopilot. Your body is basically just executing habits all day. From how you pour your coffee to how you pull on your pants. You probably put on one leg before the other. You don't even think about it. You do it the same way every day. Believe it or not, self-doubt, hesitating, telling yourself you're afraid to talk to your friends about your business, overthinking the list of calls that you need to make, those can become habits, patterns that are default behaviors that you repeat over and over without even realizing you're doing it.
So fascinating, because inside of the network marketing space, it's got to be everywhere in the world. But we deal with people in network marketing, right? All the time. They have hopes and fears. That's why they joined.
Yes.
And you see some people that just are paralyzed, absolutely paralyzed, and don't know why. They're like, I'm stuck. I just can't seem to do it. And another day goes by, they didn't get fired, they didn't get kicked out of the business, so they can repeat that behavior, but their self-esteem drops and drops and drops and drops.
Yes.
And they're like, I know what I need to do. Why can't I make myself do it?
I know why. Okay, so let me see if I can explain this very succinctly. So the problem is that you have a habit of getting stuck up here. You will never grow your network marketing business by thinking about it. It's not happening. And what I can tell you based on years and years of research, because in trying to figure out why does something 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 so simple create such profound change at not only a behavioral, but a neurological and a mindset and a habit level for people all over the world. The reason why you're having an issue if you feel paralyzed or stuck is because you spend too much time thinking. And thinking too much itself becomes a habit. Now, here's what I want you to understand. The only cure for paralysis, the only cure for fear, the only cure for feeling insecure, the only cure for feeling like a loser, like you're going to fail at this thing, the only cure for the hopes and dreams is action. That's it. And so I love the 5-second rule, and it's so important for you to understand in your business and start to use it, because it's not a tool for thinking.
Right.
It's a tool for action. It's a tool that teaches you to catch yourself the moment you start overthinking and feeling paralyzed and doing one of those, this isn't going to work, or you go down and you start thinking about all these things and talking yourself out of it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is how you interrupt that pattern of feeling paralyzed. You quiet the self-doubt, you quiet the paralysis, and then you do something humongously important. By counting backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you have just woken up your prefrontal cortex. Now, the prefrontal cortex, see his beautiful forehead right
big
here?
One.
Yeah, right there. That's why he's so successful, because it's big and he uses it all the time. The prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain that's active when you're changing behavior, when you're doing something new, when you're doing something that you're excited about, and when you're doing something that's difficult or uncertain. So let me give you an example. I'm a righty. That's a habit. I taught myself and started defaulting to the right hand, right? Now, Eric could tie my hand behind my back and say, Mel, I want you to try to write with your left hand. Now, I could try to write GoPro with my left hand, but it would require this entire part of my brain. My brain would be so focused on trying to make those letters go. And if my son came in and said, hey mom, can I have a grilled cheese? I would literally do one of those, like, I can't talk to you right now because I got to focus, because and the reason why your prefrontal cortex is firing up is because it's got to use all its power to talk to the hand and direct the new behavior and forge new neural pathways. So what happens when you count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, is you interrupt the default part of your brain that runs on autopilot, and you awaken the part of the brain that you need in order to change or do something new or scary or uncertain. And here's what's really cool. By going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you not only outsmart your brain, you also, like that, turn on the part that makes change easy. Look at the special forces. How do they start any exercise with the SEALs? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look at
Really?
Oh yeah. I've had so many military folks, veterans, special forces come up to me and say, "Oh my gosh, this brought me right back. This is how we would
I've
start
heard of
any new
3, 2,
exercise."
1, go.
Well, that's also Facebook.
Yeah.
Right? You're aligning. If you go into an elementary school, you'll see schools around the world when they have an assembly. The principals and the teachers, they start going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Before we started, the sound guy.
Yes.
Did a
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, see, you don't count up, by the way. Don't count up. It won't work because you can keep on going. You'll be
Right.
like, yeah, I don't want to do that. And the other reason why counting backwards works is because you don't do it all the time, so it's not a habit. So it requires focus. And here's what's really cool. So let's say you're insecure. You know, we had a woman write to us after being at your GoPro event and seeing me talk about the 5-second rule for 20 minutes. She said, I'm an extrovert, but doing that walk up to strangers, do the cold prospect marketing piece, she said, I just couldn't make myself do it. You used the word paralysis, Eric. I would see somebody, I would know that I should go walk over, and I knew all the steps, but I would suddenly feel paralyzed, and I'd start to doubt myself. She said, I started using the 5-second rule to push myself through that self-doubt. She said, in the beginning, it's shocking because you find yourself doing this stuff that normally you don't do. And she said, the thing that happened over time, and this is the thing that's super cool, is that over time when you use it, counting backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 will not only help you interrupt your self-sabotaging default patterns, but it becomes what psychologists and neurologists call a starting ritual. A starting ritual is a positive pattern that you repeat that triggers your positive behavior. And so what one of your biggest fans wrote to me and said is that she's noticed after about a month of using this, not only has approaching cold prospects and marketing to them and recruiting them into her business become easier, she's also realizing that she's developing confidence. And so this is another really important note about building your business. So I used to believe that confidence was like a personality trait. Not so at all. Confidence is a skill. It's a skill that you build through action. In fact, this is advice that dates all the way back to Aristotle. And there's a very famous psychology professor by the name of Timothy Wilson that's written a lot about confidence. And Aristotle, the saying back to Aristotle used to say, do good, be good. Meaning if you do good acts, you'll start to become good. You do things with action, your mind follows. And so what Timothy Wilson talks about is just thinking. See, when we talk about mindset, yes, thoughts are important, but for those of us that struggle with insecurity, with self-doubt, with feeling paralyzed, it's really hard to think yourself out of that hole. Mm-hmm. The fastest way to change your mindset is by taking action and proving to yourself through 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, one action at a time, that you can rely on yourself. When this woman was going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and pushing through paralysis, what she's doing is really important, and it goes way beyond building her business. She's proving to herself that her dreams matter enough to her and she can rely on herself. She's proving to herself that no matter what she might feel in her body or what excuses she might have, that she actually can rely on herself to make it happen. And there's nothing more powerful in life than when you dig yourself out of a mental hole and you become the kind of person that doesn't default to thinking, but that actually defaults to self-trust and to taking action on your dreams. And all you need to do to grow your business is listen to this guy. Like, take every single one of the steps, take all the tools. This is another thing that people do, right? Mm-hmm. You get handed all these amazing tools.
You don't do anything with it.
You don't do anything. Or it's the tools problem. I don't like the tools. I don't want to use the tools. I don't like these conversations. They may work for him, but they don't work for me.
Right.
That's another default pattern. You've gotten used to complaining instead of taking action and trying.
Let me ask you a question about this. So I'm a big believer in action does help you build self-worth, self-confidence, your own self-esteem.
Yes.
So a person is out there and they're like a scared little mouse right now. They're nervous.
Yes.
But they're like, okay, Mel,
yes,
I'm going to give it a try. Next time I feel this little thing like, nope, I'll do it later, I'll do it someday, I'll do it whatever. I'm going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm just going to do it.
Yes.
And they do it and it blows up in their face.
Great.
So, because sometimes the scared little mouse, when they go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the lion goes rah, and they go right back into their hole, and then don't come out again.
Yes.
So I know my answer to this.
Okay.
What's your answer to building this new muscle?
Yes. Okay. So my answer to this is I don't look at life ever as things that you succeed or fail at. I look at life as confidence in my mind and your dreams, they hinge on your willingness to try. That's it. And if you're willing to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and make a 5-second decision and push yourself to try, you're either going to succeed or you'll survive. Mm-hmm. But either way, you just took one small step closer. I want you to consider something. Being 41, going to a really fancy Ivy League school, having a law degree, living in a really expensive neighborhood, and facing the prospect of not only blowing up our entire lives, but also taking a lot of other people's money with us as a bunch of businesses that we had were failing. That was as big of a failure that I have ever faced in my entire life. Mm-hmm. And if I hadn't had that happen, I would never have discovered the 5-second rule. And I think here's the other reason why I love this simple rule so much is that, again, I'm going to go back and start with a simple premise. You're really smart. You may feel paralyzed. You may have self-doubt. You may be nervous about your ability to make your dreams come true. But the truth is, you're actually really smart and you know what to do. All we got to do is train you to take action.
Do what you know.
Yeah, do what you know. And this is a tool that will get you out of the habit of thinking. You know, here's one other point that I want to talk about real quick, and I want to come back to the word that you said, paralysis.
Yeah.
So one thing that's really important to understand about life, and this was new to me, is that we cannot control what happens in our bodies. Meaning, whatever you feel in a moment. I'm going to give an example. So once one of your favorite people, like if you could go see anybody in concert, who would it be?
Oh, gosh. Alive or dead?
Doesn't matter.
I want to see Freddie Mercury from...
Oh, you're kidding!
I would love to see him, but it's too late.
That's all right. That's all right. So Freddie Mercury, you're
never got to see
standing
him.
in the front
Or
row.
Prince.
Or
Prince.
Prince.
I never got
Oh my
to
God,
see Prince.
So imagine you're standing in the front row. Prince is about to come out.
Yeah.
What are you feeling in your body? Oh my God, you're like right there. He's about to be
Excitement,
here.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, but what's happening in your body?
Anticipation, fun, I don't know.
You get butterflies.
Yeah, probably.
Kind of stomach
a little
rumbling.
bit.
Maybe
a
your
little.
armpits start sweating a little bit.
Maybe.
Palms get a little clammy, right? Maybe your throat gets a little dry. Your heart starts to race. He's excited because Prince is about to come out. Now, let's talk about me. I'm the little mouse that's really afraid, and I see a prospect over there, and I know I should talk to them or my sister-in-law, who I'm dying to bring into this business with me, but oh my gosh, what if she doesn't like it? What am I feeling? I'm feeling fluttering in my stomach. My armpits are sweating. My hands are clammy. My throat is tight. My heart is racing. Now, the only difference between what's happening for Eric at the Prince concert and what's happening for me, the little mouse over here who's feeling paralyzed, is Eric's brain is saying, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I'm about to see Prince. My brain is saying, holy, I'm about to die. You know,
Right.
your brain is reading your body signals. What you feel is excitement. My brain is reading my body signals as death.
Yeah.
Exactly. We can use that to our advantage. Let me show you how. Because your body, you can't control what your body's going to do. Your body's going to have moments where you get flustered, where your heart races, but you can always control, using the 5-second rule, what you think and what actions you take. So if you're in a situation where you start to feel the body sensations, right, of the stomach, the heart race, the tight throat, the sweating, remember the first rule. Excitement at a Prince concert, fear of talking to somebody you don't know about your business, exact same body sensation. Only difference is what the brain calls it. So if you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you interrupt your brain from actually calling it fear. When you hit 1, I want you to have a thought. You can do 2 things. You can either have a thought, a vision, something very kind of specific about what you do as your ritual when you close a piece of business. What do you do when you bring on somebody? What do you do when you just have a great conversation? How proud you are of yourself that you shared this thing, that you're a rabid fan, this service or this product. So have that vision in mind, and what happens is you stabilize your mind and your body, because your mind now goes, oh, her stomach's upset because she's excited to go talk about this. Now here's a second thing that you can do. So in the situation where you feel nervous, or maybe you're already in the middle of a conversation, so you're like the little mouse and you've done an amazing job and you found some 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 courage, and now you're having the conversation and now you're up in your head. You're not in the conversation anymore. You're not asking questions. You're not, kind of thinking about just setting up when, if they're interested and setting a time and then getting out of there like Eric trains you to do. You start thinking, catch yourself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 before you start to get nervous about it. Then you can use research out of Harvard. This is a really interesting study that you can find if you Google reappraising performance anxiety. They studied people before taking a test, before singing karaoke, before running a track meet, and they taught them to do one thing. Right before you're about to do something and your body does I'm at the Prince concert and I'm excited, or I'm terrified because I'm going to talk to somebody about my business and I'm afraid. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They didn't use the 5-second rule in full disclosure, but what they taught people to do is to say, I'm excited. I'm excited to go talk to this person. I'm excited to take this test. I'm excited to get to know somebody and make a new friend. Because you also talk about the fact that, you're not really, you're not necessarily first and foremost selling. If you're thinking more about gathering new friends that are really interesting and sharing this thing you're rabid about, you win, full stop. I'm excited to talk to this person. I'm excited to get to know somebody. I'm excited to find out what that person's doing. Immediately switches how your brain reads what your body's doing. Immediately.
Interesting.
And if you use the 5-second rule first, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you start saying, I'm excited to do X, Y, Z, you've now awakened the prefrontal cortex and made it easier to change.
So I have a couple core beliefs.
Yes.
One is a positive belief about myself, and the other one's not as positive a belief about myself.
Okay, here we go.
The positive belief is this: I never lose. I never lose. I win or I learn. One way or the other.
I love that.
In every experience, I'm always going to end up better.
Yes.
Okay? So that's my core belief on one side. The other belief is that I'm an introvert. And introverts hoard their energy. You know what I mean? Because getting around another crowd, it makes you, it drains your batteries.
Yep.
Like a faulty iPhone or something.
Yep.
So they end up hoarding their energy. They protect their energy. They're like, they know they should, but do I want to lose my energy by going and doing that?
Yes.
So you start this process.
Yes.
So part of me is, I have to psych up. Like when I'm going to go recruit, in full disclosure to everybody, if I'm as a distributor, I'm retired, permanently from that now, serving the profession. But
Yep.
if I was a distributor, when I was a distributor, I would have to psych up. And it's like I was putting recruiting clothes on, and I'm going to go for 30, 60, 90 days, and that's all I'm going to do. And I'm staying in that zone.
Yes.
And that was my coping mechanism.
I would not call that a coping mechanism.
To making me do it. And then I would take the recruiting clothes off, and I go, oh, thank God that's over. Now let's work together. Let me work with you now that you're in the business.
I would like to blow your mind a little bit.
Okay.
So first of all, I love that you're sharing this, because I would imagine that a lot of people are surprised, to hear that you're an introvert. Because introverts and extroverts, it really has more to do with whether or not being around other people energize you, or it really drains you.
What are you?
I'm definitely an extrovert.
Okay.
Definitely an extrovert. And I'm married to an introvert.
Okay.
So
he needs to stare at the wall sometimes, like I do.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There are times that he sees me coming and he is running in the other direction. Not you right now. But one of the things that I want you to realize is that you said that one of them was a positive and one of them was a negative. You actually just explained what psychologists call acting out of character. So your personality has both fixed and actually flexible traits. So there are aspects of your personality that you get drained being around a ton of people, that I tend to get more energy, that tend to be fixed. But there are pieces of your personality where you can act out of character if it is in pursuit of a higher purpose.
Yeah.
So for those of you that keep saying you're too introverted to be successful in this, it's garbage. So let me give you an example. If your kid or your dog fell in the river and you were afraid of fish, you could act out of character and jump right in there and save them, because it's in pursuit of a higher purpose.
Right.
And just like Eric explained, he came up with a way to psych himself out. Believe it or not, a tremendous number of CEOs and of college professors are actually introverts. They act out of character when they're teaching a class because it is in furtherance of their higher goal of wanting to connect with people this information. So not for 1 second are you allowed to use the excuse that you're introverted. Because the thing about introversion is that yes, it has a lot to do with what you need to do to restore yourself in terms of your energy, but your dreams are your responsibility. And when it comes to your dreams, you have the ability to act out of character. And whether you do something like Eric's talking about, where he has things that he does that psych himself up, maybe it's listening to music, or it's going exercise, or cold showers, or whatever it may be that gets you going. You can create your own ritual. You can use the 5-second rule. There are strategies that you can use intentionally, and this is about being pro. Are you going to sit around and hope that you're lucky and your dreams fall out of the sky, which we know doesn't work? Or are you going to get serious about your dreams and do what's necessary to act out of character or out of those default modes in furtherance of what you want and deserve.
Here's one of the biggest lies, I think, in the world. And I'm interested to get your take on this. It's just do what you love. Only what you love. It's the biggest lie ever. Like, find what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. It's the biggest bunch of nonsense I've ever heard, because an Olympic athlete loves the goal of being able to win the gold medal. But they don't love all the training.
No.
You know, you love to contribute to the lives of other people, but I'm sure it wasn't.
I hate the travel.
It wasn't wonderful being on the airplane today.
No, it was not. Definitely not.
So some people, as soon as it gets a little tiny bit uncomfortable, they go, well, they told me to find what I love, and I'm not loving this.
Well,
so they say, I'm out.
I think that you could give, there's some great advice in there, which is, first of all, yes, it's true.
Love the objective.
Yes, well, love the dreams and find things that you do love about what you're doing.
Yes.
Maybe it's the connecting with people. Maybe it's the fact that you're just such an incredible fan of the stuff that you're using and that you're selling and sharing with people, that's the piece that you love. But there are things in life that you're always going to hate. But you got to do them. See, I have this, I said this thing.
But that's so you can use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God.
To be able to just get past that to the stuff that you love again.
Excuse me, do you love unloading the dishwasher? Seriously, do you love picking up dog poop? Do you love doing the laundry? Do you love getting up at 4:30 in the morning and driving hockey carpool for your kids? No, you do it. You do it anyway. And so, one of the things about life is that it's kind of sad. When we were kids, we had people that just saw greatness in us. They saw potential. They pushed you, they coached you. You had maybe a youth group leader or parents or aunts and uncles or older brothers and sisters or maybe a scout leader or a coach or somebody that saw something in you, a teacher, and they pushed you past your excuses. They made you do stuff you hated. I hated math, hated it. Mr. Core,
Really?
Glenn Core, yes, Glenn Core, incredible engineer. He was my high school math teacher. I was terrified of him. I hated going into that class. One of the reasons why I'm an incredible businesswoman is because of how my math acumen. And it's because he pushed me. And the sad thing about being an adult is that when you get older, we don't have those people in our lives.
Right.
It's up to you. Like when you move out of your house and you become an adult, you have to parent your stuff. All that annoying stuff your parents told you to do that, we're now telling our kids to do, clean the room, feed the dog, pick up your backpack, no, I'm not giving you money, what'd you do with your allowance? Like all that stuff that was annoying, they were pushing you to be great. Well, now it's your job. You're lucky because you got this guy. But one of the things that you can do when you find that you're alone and you just hate doing this thing, cold calling, I hate it. Throwing a party, I hate it. Learning the new stuff, I hate it. I'm successful now. Why do I have to keep recruiting people?
Right.
Duplicating your business. Why do I have to learn how to train the trainer? I hate that stuff. Why can't I just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Do it. Yeah.
Yes, if your dreams matter to you, you'll do stuff you hate. That's life. And I also think that there's a lot of value in figuring out your hate list, because if you have a list of things that you hate, it tells you a lot about the things that you love and that you are passionate about. And as you get bigger and you learn those things that you hate, guess what? You can hire people to do it.
I know it.
Yes.
That's what I do.
But first you got to know how to do it so you can train them.
I know. You got to know how to do it, and then you train them. Then you surround yourself with people who handle the stuff that you're not wonderful at. It's the best.
Yes,
in the
it's
world.
true.
I'd highly recommend that. Well, listen, I've appreciated you spending time and talking to people about this. Let's talk about the book.
Yes.
Because the 5-Second Rule book is out, available. People can pre-order. They can order. You're giving away a bunch of stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Here's my recommendation to you.
Buy it.
My recommendation to you is this. I'm not making anything in exchange for this recommendation. There's no compensation in any form other than the fact that I think it will be worthwhile for you and everybody in your team to incorporate this mind virus into your head to take action. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. take that product, share that opportunity, go to that meeting, register for that convention, whatever it is that you're avoiding doing, the thing that you know you should do and you're not doing, use this tool to do it. And the book's going to help you. Now, we want to help her in any way we can get to the top of the bestseller list. The book is just newly out, so I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. 1, buy the book. Just go. You can go to Amazon.com or any bookstore.
It's only $16 at this point. It's selling so well.
$16 or so, whatever it is. Go buy it. Get it immediately. 2, I would ask that you recommend this to your teams. If you think this will help them take action, then recommend it to your teams and get this, make it a book club or a book of the month or a study group thing that you could do team-wide, because this will really help you. And 3, I would like all of you to go on Amazon and give it a review. After you've read it, good, bad, or indifferent, just give her a review. Take a second to be able to do that. I know it's a pain in the neck to do, but if you do it, that makes a big difference, and it's going to have an impact for her. She supports what we do inside the network marketing profession. Her message supports what it is that we're trying to accomplish in the network marketing profession. And if you get value, let's help her do what she needs to do, which is to spread her mission around the world. And there's also, you're giving away a bunch of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I want to tell you why this book took me 3 years to write. And one of the things that's really remarkable about it is that I thought about you as I was writing it. There are more than 150 social media posts from around the world, people building businesses just like you, throughout the entire book. So you're seeing other people and how they're using the rule to beat procrastination, end anxiety, double their business in 5 months flat, recruit 50 people to their business in a matter of weeks. Why? Because this is a tool for action. There's also pages you can tear out that are designed to be tacked up to inspire you and keep you going. And that's not all. There's a URL in the back of the book. We taped 31 video mentoring sessions that come with this book, that are deeper lessons into the Jedi mind tricks. The 5-second rule is just one of them that I use in my life, my business, my marriage, my parenting, stuff I use to cure myself of anxiety, to on and on and on. Filmed it at our house, at our office. Hilarious stuff.
And that's all free?
Oh, it's all free. It comes with the book. And we have something else just for you.
What do
we have a free gift for you guys.
What?
We have a course. We have a course that we're giving to you that is called the $1 Million Morning Course, because it's my science-backed morning routine that I do the first 30 minutes of every day, and believe it or not, it does not involve exercise, not in those 30 minutes.
Okay.
So you're going to go with me through my morning routine as I show you what to do to become more productive in those 30 minutes than you probably are all day long. And I'm going to prove it to you using the science. And so that's
how do
free
they get
for
it?
your...
We have a link?
Yeah, you go melrobbins.com/free gift. But, the book, I know that you will love it. And on top of all of the 31 sessions and how cool the book is, on the website, we have a tremendous number of videos to help you teach your team and your kids how to use this. And by the way, I'm going to warn you. This is a very serious warning. I told you the rule is simple. I told you it's stupid. I told you it's kind of annoying. What happens when you teach your team is if they catch you griping, or they catch you procrastinating, or they catch you not doing stuff, they're going to turn the rule back on you. Some days I regret that I taught my children this rule because they're constantly 5-second rule, Mom. Watch your tone.
That's hilarious. So what if people want to get bulk? They want to buy 100 of them.
I'll just put you in touch with my publisher and we'll give you a great deal. How about that?
So they go to melrobbins.com?
Go to melrobbins.com. Go to melrobbins.com/5-second rule is where all the book stuff is, or Mel Robbins, or go to hello@melrobbins.com, and we do bulk orders all day long.
Okay, cool. So if you want to get that for your team, you've got an event coming up, you want to have it at your event and sell it to your team, whatever you want to do, I'd recommend that you do that. So I hope you got some great value here, and if you have, I'm going to ask you to share this with somebody else that might get value. It might be stuck, might be procrastinating, might be looking for the key to break out. But she's given you the secret to unlocking your potential. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I know you're thinking about buying this book, so here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go get it. enjoy your day, and Mel Robbins and I say sayonara. See you later, kids.
Thanks for your time.
Hey, my name is Eric Worre, and if you're involved in the network marketing profession, I want to invite you to come to the Network Marketing Pro YouTube channel. Every week, we put out content on how you can become a network marketing professional. We have tips, ideas, strategies, interviews with million-dollar earners in the profession, interviews with global icons like Tony Robbins or Sir Richard Branson, lots of different things that we provide there absolutely free. Do yourself a favor, click on the link, subscribe to the YouTube channel, tell your friends to do the same, and I can't wait to see you there.